Hello, my name is Rosie. Welcome to Roasted into Diamonds. Today we are doing a post review on the absolutely gorgeous Satura. You could literally see the sun do like the brightening thing, of course. So let's start with materials, right? So as far as materials go, this was a super great render. The colors were amazing. A ton of special drills were put in this. Some were of my own, some were from DP with Sparklers, and some were naturally from Diamond Art Club. So I'm going to kind of go over all that in just a minute. But I didn't really have like a whole lot of trash, even in the DP with Sparklers ones. Some of that trash is even from, I think, the Kirby kit like previously that I did. So not like a whole lot of trash or anything. Sorry if you can hear stuff in my background, the kids' home. But absolutely amazing. Canvas was great. Glue was super great up until the end, where I decided that it was a good idea to cut out from her eyes over here all the way over to this side, and I had it like flipped upside down. And so I continuously, like a very, very smart individual that I am, put my arm in the glue. And so I then had an entire, like, I had the DAC bottle of glue, and I was trying to like swipe it because I can't find the paddle to use for that. And so then now there's like sticky on the glue, or on the drills themselves. I'll probably go through and take like a Lysol wipe and probably wipe that down, just because try and get some of the glue off of the top of the drills themselves. But that was an interesting mistake that I made. I will eventually have to get like the little or something to like move the glue around, but I definitely put too much and then I messed some things up, but that's okay. So let's start with what naturally came with the kit. So Diamond Art Club included 111. This is an older kit. You can tell because of the numbering system that they use on this one. So 111 and 125. The 111 is literally only in her eyes. Literally in her eyes. Let's see if I can unbury my canvas from all of the things. No big deal. No big deal. I got this. It's totally fine. I was totally prepared. I just finished this canvas. So like, I am having a heck of a time. Okay, so you can see that in there is like a bunch of different colors. And that is the only spot for that like raspberry AB diamond. I'm going to call it raspberry AB. I love that color, but there was like very little of it. On this one, it's like all over the place. So it's all through here. Through here, you can see kind of the like whitish, but they're like a super light blue AB. So that's like all throughout basically the hair and like spots on her arm and stuff. The next one that they included is this metallic diamond. It's called all right, wow. Anyways, I cannot. I'm so sorry. I am blanking so hard. All I can think is metallic. But that's okay. It's metallic, brassy, like looking diamond. And those are in like all the stars. She's got some on her like shoulder pads, a star on her shoulder pad, in her hat. There's a star up there with it. Little like spaces where you can see like little starbursts of metallic drills. Super cool placements. A little bit in her ears, so you can tell that she has earrings on. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right, the audio for this is just going to be a little wild. I apologize ahead of time. But I have to make videos when I can. Another one that was, these ones, some were included, is Z368, Z3855, Z554, and Z3822. And you can see a lot of those, like down here is some of the fairy dust. Let me see if I can go in a little bit and then show. So there's some of the purple fairy dust. The yellow fairy dust is like all up in here, like in her like sleeve. All around like the shine of her hands where like the stars would be sparkling kind of thing. Anywhere that the like stars would shine on like her skin or her like face. And then the green, there's some like here along there. There's some down in the bottom. Let me zoom out a little bit more again. There's some down here in the bottom. Like just this whole piece sparkles like a lot. So much sparkle. So there's that. So then I didn't buy the entire enhancement pack from DP with Sparklers. I was very purposeful in which ones I did buy. My husband doesn't really like the circles in a square canvas, which I totally understand. And since this is going to be displayed in my home, I wanted to be careful with that specifically. So one of the ones that I bought from them is this glitter diamond. I generally am not like a huge fan of the glitter diamond, but honestly, I feel like it just adds a little bit of like glitz in this one that just, it's not like insanely like in your face. So usually I feel like it's a little too like loud, but honestly, like it's not, in my opinion, too loud. So yeah, like all that like glitter down here, all up in her shoulder, like around the star. Like I think it actually makes a lot of sense with the metallic stars. So I'm super stoked about how that one turned out. The next one is this one, which I have to remember. So sorry. I have to remember which one this is. So this is for 517, and this was a fairy dust or pixie dust 312. So cute little pixie dust, nice deep color with like a light coating, and that is in a lot of different places. So in the very bottom of this here, there's like a bunch of it. I just did a bunch of sections up top that have it. Let me see if I can shift this just a little. Like I'm sure you can see there's a bunch down here, but like there was a ton as I'm like scooting. There was a ton up there. So like all through there, I know the sun is like totally shining and kind of tossing a glare on that, but like there is a ton all throughout the top of this. I wish I could get like a better, let me see if I can get a better, this whole video is going to be me like trying to show stuff. Okay. I think you can see like which ones the fairy dust are, but that was super cool. Really like that one. The next one was $9.91 and it was crystal, I think it was like the 500s. It was crystal 501. That's what I thought. And that one is like a, it's almost like a sea green down through here. It's a very pretty color. Nice big splotches of it, like down here. If you can see that right through here. And then just lines of it woven throughout her like bodice. All through there. And then the final one that they had that I picked up was the black crystal, and in person you can you can totally see that. You can tell the crystal by the like shininess as it kicks the light back out. So that's pretty cool. It's also like in her eyes and along the brim of her hat and everything. So that was a really cool inclusion. When you look at it in the light by itself, it definitely looks like a dark blue. Not really like a black, but that makes a whole lot of sense because you can't exactly like have the diamond be black but also see-through, I feel like. So I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of the way it goes. There's a few like spots in her eyes that I swapped these frosted diamonds. This is a sample that I got way back when I made my first purchase from DP Sparklers. I don't think I've had a sample since, but these were a really cool inclusion, and I may have to eventually buy some more because in the eyes, like that is such a cool, like subtle clear diamond that works really well for like the light point in the person's eyes, or I've done it in cat's eyes and different things like that. So that was one that I added. Another one that I added is instead of this color, 3760, I ran out of it because I'm a dork and I just kind of pulled these and hoped for the best. That's what I had. They're all like connected and stuff. So I didn't quite have enough to finish it. Up in the top next to the like super light purple is like a small section of the normal drills. Outside of that, it's this color here. It's the light blue crystal. And I replaced all of those except for that little square with these light blue crystals, and that is crystal 3843. So absolutely ridiculous. I was just so mad when I was like, I am just the slightest bit short. So I also had these left over, and I think this is from Jelly Space. Yeah, pretty sure it's from Jelly Space. I figured it would be kind of fun to just replace some of the purple, the 3836, with these 3836 with the glitter 3835. So close in number, no big deal. That was really fun. There's lots of little jelly drills. There's not like a ton in here. I didn't use that many of them, but just enough in little like spurts to kind of make it fun. So that was a fun inclusion. That's not one, but these two are. So this one is 400, and I swapped it with a fairy dust, and I'm pretty sure it was just a fairy dust 400. Yeah, Z400. I had just enough. I was so worried that I wasn't going to have enough of this one because I was like, I know that there's not that much that I have to use, so I figured it would be close, but that is like all in like the dark shades around her face. I think there's like one drill here, but yeah, that was kind of a silly inclusion. It wasn't like necessary, and it didn't bring like super meaningful inclusion, but like it was fun. And then the last one is I really like 823 crystals, and I think it's just crystal 823. I did get this one from Jelly Space. I had a bunch of extra, and that's pretty much all I have extra now. I had to reorder because I didn't get enough of this one. So there's that. I think it was my fault for not ordering enough. I don't think it's like the enhancement pack said to do this much and I listened and it was wrong. I think it was a me issue. But here, down here is the dark crystals, and I think these ones would have been more meaningful if the black was not also a crystal. I think the crystal on crystal makes it a little muddied, and I think that's my fault for adding that specific color. I think if it was a regular drill, it probably would have been a little less muddy through here. When the light hits it, I think it's a lot less muddy, but when it's like in any form of like dark, it looks a bit incoherent. So, just personal opinion. I'm making this video because I really, really, really want to put away those drills. I am not one for leaving things kit up, especially when I'm like chomping at the bit to kit a bunch of things up and they're using my stuff. So, so as far as information, this is Satura, Margaret Morales. If I didn't say that at the beginning, I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's Satura by Margaret Morales. I started this 5/4/2025. End date was today, just now, 5/20/2025. It is not archived. I don't think it's in stock at the moment, but I could be wrong. They may have just a few in stock, actually. It's from Diamond Art Club. It is a 55.8 centimeter by 86 centimeter or 22.3 inches by 34.4 inches. It is a square drill kit. There's 71 colors. It was start number 46 because I went back and added a kit that I forgot to put in my book. So it would have been 45, but it's 46 now. Start number 8 for the year. Finish number 45 ever. And then finish number 10 for the year. I was gonna do this for like Mermaids and Magic because I was like, oh yeah, magic. But I didn't end up really like participating in any of it. I just kind of was like watching along as I did my Satura kit. I am keeping this. The colors are amazing. I love how many different colors there is. The purples, the pinks, the blues, the aquas, the yellows. The yellows are really pretty. I actually really like the use of all the fairy dust. Lots of bling in this kit. The electro, oh my god, it came to me. The electro diamonds are amazing. Well placed in this kit. And she's honestly just gorgeous. Her face is everything. And the little brim of her hat just tickles me. And so does her little like corset. That just tickles the crap out of me. And then like the frillies on the like pirate shirt. Like, love that. I am like I was a theater kid in high school and have been to Renaissance fairs and different things. I love the dress up, you know, like look of all of this. Absolutely beautiful. The cape actually kind of, cape and like wardrobe kind of reminds me of Hal from Howl's Moving Castle. And I love witches. So, and I love Margaret Morales' work. Like I don't know her as a person, but her work is gorgeous and amazing and probably one of my favorites. So, yeah, there was a lot of chicken scratch there. Lots of changes, lots of fun doing this kit. I literally sat before I started it and just kind of like went through all of my enhancement drills and was just like, I think these would like work for what I'm doing, and just kind of hope and prayed that I had enough to get through this kit. So, thank you for watching my review of Satura by Margaret Morales and Diamond Art Club. Thank you for watching and have a rosy day.